Hi, it's Rachel. I'm here with Millie, and I'm planning on doing a longish floor work session with a lot of focus on hips right now. So just thought I'd fill you in on that. Set expectations. You might want to have a belt if you use a belt. If you don't have a yoga block, you might want to have a chair nearby that you could bring a hand onto. And yeah, you might want to have a Nellie, making sure she's in shot. Anyway, come to any comfortable seated position. We're going to start together in sitting. And your legs don't have to be crossed. I know mine are, but you can sit in any comfortable positions. If you prefer kneeling or having your legs outstretched in a kind of straddle, there are a lot of alternatives. And taking a few moments just to center yourself in space. Notice if your shoulder blades are kind of roughly above the pelvis, the back pelvic bones. Notice if the back of your head is in that alignment too, as though you were, we often start lying on the floor. So notice, are you kind of roughly in that spinal alignment? Taking a few deep, full breaths. If your eyes want to be open, they can be. Mine are going to be closed. Just noticing the sensation of the breath when you inhale. And noticing the sensation of the breath moving through your nose as you exhale. And then just taking a moment to mentally tune in with your body. What are you bringing to this practice today? That can be physical, that can be emotional. It could be very specific on bringing an injured right shoulder, or it could be more vague, like just a general, kind of not super energetic. Or it could be, hey, I'm feeling awesome and just went for a run and want to stretch out. So whatever you're feeling, just notice it. Okay, and if you'd like to take a moment to form a dedication or intention for your practice, you may do so. There's no obligation to do this. And gently open up your eyes if they were closed. If you're sitting with your legs crossed, cross with the other ankle on top. If you were sitting in any other position, you can continue sitting there or adjust yourself as much as you want. Sit on cushions, blankets, make yourself comfortable. Okay, and then we're gonna lengthen up through our belly. Feel yourself supporting the length of the spine. I'm adjusting my pelvis a little bit, lining my shoulders up above my pelvis. And then I'm gonna open my arms out into cactus pose. And my arms are out, upper arms out from the shoulder, and my forearms are bent at a right angle. They're not directly out from the shoulders. When I bring my arms back like that, my upper trapezius really contract. So I kind of bring them a little bit more forward so I can keep a sense of breadth in my back. Good. And stretch out through your elbows. Take a breath and then feel as though you're pushing against an invisible weight. Ooh. And bring your elbows forward until they're poking straight out in front of the shoulders, if that feels okay. At any point, if this does not feel good for your body, stop. You are the expert in what your body is feeling. So always listen to your own feelings. Anyway, my ribs are pulling down towards my hips here. My elbows are stretching actively forward away from my shoulders. And now I'm not going to let my ribs pop forward, and I'm trying not to let my elbows splay out or my hands come together. And I'm just going to see how high can I lift up my elbows without bringing them together, the hands together and the elbows far, far apart. Good. And then I'm going to bring my arms back down and open them out. And we're going to do that twice more, really trying to feel like you're pushing against an imaginary weight to create an isometric activity, not reaction. Anyway, so here we are pushing out through your elbows. And then bring the arms forward like you're pushing through water. Good. Ribs are drawing down towards the pelvis, and lift up through those elbows, trying not to let the hands come together. And then slowly bring those arms down again using imaginary weights. Open the arms out. And then we'll go one more time. Bringing those elbows towards each other, like you're going through water. Lifting those elbows up. Keep drawing down through the ribs. Bring those arms down. Open them out and release. That felt good. Okay, so we're going to do some hip stretching right now. So you can feel free to do whatever you would like with this left leg, because I'm going to take my right leg with my my left hand on my right foot and my right hand on the knee, and I'm going to make some hip circles. So I'm sitting up tall through my belly, and I'm supporting myself. I'm moving from my thigh bone and the hip socket, right? And I'm supporting myself. I'm flexing this foot to keep that knee slightly protected here. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction. Keep the foot flexed, yeah. Good. And take a couple more breaths. Good. And then just bring the leg in front of you. And it might be lower down, it might be higher up than mine. It doesn't matter. Try and notice if your shoulders can be soft, and you can use the muscles of the leg a little bit to support the leg, the weight of the leg bones. Good. And then holding that leg upright any amount. Good. And then put that right leg down. And we're going to take that left leg. And I have my right hand on the left foot and my left hand on the left knee. And I'm sitting up tall through my belly, lengthening through my spine, not lifting with my shoulders. Good. As I'm moving that thigh bone in the hip socket. Good. And then I'm going to go in the opposite direction. And again, if you flex that foot, what happens anatomically when you flex your foot, it slightly lifts the fibula, which is the outer bone in our lower leg, and that can prevent the knee from rotating. Isn't that a fun fact? So that's why I'm insistent about flexing the foot here. It's not an aesthetic concern. It's anatomical. Now let's come back to center. And again, lift up through that leg. And it might not be super high. It doesn't matter. Or it could come way up higher than mine. Drop your shoulders down. Deep breathing. Okay, let's put that leg on down. And bring your feet together in Baddha Konasana. We're just going to do a couple more things sitting upright, and then we'll get to come down onto our backs. So sitting in Baddha Konasana, and use whatever support you need, perhaps beneath your knees, perhaps beneath your hips. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears. And breathe deeply, feeling the length of your spine. Good. Nice work. If you feel comfortable doing so, stretch your arms up towards the ceiling, drop down through the inner shoulder blades. Feel like you're slightly wrapping the triceps forward, and then slightly drawing down, like you're trying to pull the arm bone, the head of that arm bone, back into the shoulder blade, back into the socket, even as you're stretching the fingertips forward. So it's kind of like a tug-of-war toy that you play with your dog, right? Good. If this does not feel good on your head or neck or back, bring your hands down, right? Okay, and then let's all bring our hands down. And come onto your back. Take a couple of breaths here. And then bring your right knee into the chest. Good. And stretch out through that left leg, flexing that left foot. Good. And begin to move that right hip, that right thigh bone in the hip socket, making circles here. Then we'll go in the opposite direction. Come back to center and stretch up any amount through that right leg. If you'd like to have your left foot on the floor for this, if that makes you feel more stable in your back, please do so. If you want to have that left leg stretched out, that's fine, but do keep the foot flexed, toes upright towards the ceiling. Good. You are also welcome to wrap a belt around your right foot if you'd like. For those of us who are holding onto the back of the right leg with the hands, push the right thigh into the hands as much as you're pushing the hands into the thigh. Even though we're trying to get the leg, theoretically closer to our torso, I guess, we are trying to ground the thigh bone within the flesh of the thigh at the same time, if that makes any sense. Good. Keep breathing. Relax your neck and jaw. Good. Okay, and then release that right leg. Then we're going to hug the left knee into the chest. And we're going to make some hip circles. Noticing how this feels for your body right now, at this moment. And then go in the opposite direction. And then bringing that knee back in towards the chest. Stretch up through that left leg any amount. And again, feel free to put the right foot on the floor if you would like to, or to keep that right leg outstretched. Whatever option you're taking, keep the toes up towards the ceiling if your leg is outstretched. And again, you're welcome to have a belt around the ball of the left foot if you find that comfortable. If you are clasping the back of the left thigh in the hands, press the thigh into the hands as much as the hands into the thigh. Create an isometric action here. Keep the shoulders soft, neck soft, the breath deep. Good. Okay, and bring that leg on down. Okay, we're gonna do a pose that you can do in a bunch of different ways next. So if you do have back issues, I really recommend using a belt in this one. And a belt doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could be, a belt like a belt that you would wear around your waist, just something that you can hang on to between your hand and your foot. Okay, so anyway, what we're gonna do is have our left leg on the floor and stretch our right leg up towards the ceiling. Now here, you can feel free to just hold the belt in the right hand and bring the left hand down onto the ground. Flex the right foot. Good. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Now we're gonna open the legs both out to the side at the same time. If this causes any discomfort in the left leg, don't do it. We're turning out from the hip, and I'm only opening each leg as far as I can while keeping my weight balanced across my pelvis. So I'm not gonna let myself roll to one side or the other here. And I'm stretching out through my right leg. Good, and then I'm gonna bring the legs back up. Now feel free to repeat that or to just stretch the right leg out to the side and hold that position. If you're feeling like you'd like to do some ab work and you're feeling comfortable in your back, remember you can bend your knee at any point to kind of ease the work a little bit. We're gonna work with the breath here. As I inhale, I open the legs out to the side. As I exhale, I bring the legs up. And I'm just going to do that a couple of times. And remember, if this is not feeling appropriate for you, put a belt around your foot. You could try doing the movement that way. Or else hold the static stretch. That might be the good option for you today. And remember, the heart of our practice is being observant and being kind. So be observant of your body and be kind, right? No need to push. Good. And then wherever you were, bring that right leg down. Okay. So we're going to take it on the second side. And again, we'll do one, slow one. And I'm going to recommend we all try one supported just to see how that feels and hold it for a little bit longer so we're aware of our position. So I'm going to start with my left leg stretching up and my right foot on the floor. Now I'm turning both legs out and opening both legs out to the side here at the same time. I've turned onto the outer edge of my right foot. I'm extending out strongly through that left heel. I'm staying balanced across the back of my pelvis. I'm not letting myself roll from side to side. And I'm dropping my shoulders down away from my ears. Good, and I'm gonna maintain all of that while I bring the legs back up. Again, it might be a good choice here to keep that right knee up towards the sky and open the left leg out to the side. It might be a good choice here to open both legs out to the side and just hold it there. It might be a good choice to go through this using a belt. Or it might be a good choice to release the belt and work with the breath. And again, the breath I use might not be the best breath for you. But I like to inhale as I open, exhale as I close. And again, only work as much as you feel is appropriate for you at this moment. Good, just another couple of breaths. And then we'll bring that left leg down. Nice, good job. That wasn't easy. Okay, so from here, we're going to keep the left leg on the floor and bring the right ankle across the left knee. And then I'm going to possibly stay here. If you'd like to, you could lift the left foot up off the floor as well. If it feels like a comfortable thing to do, you could grab the back of the left thigh with the hands if you're really grounding to make that happen. No need for it, just bring your hands to the front of the calf here and drop your shoulders down. Again, if you want to though, it's fine to grab onto the back of that left thigh. Wherever you are, drop the shoulder blades down away from the ears. Breathe into the back of your chest. And see if you can stretch down slightly through your tailbone, not like towards the floor, but towards the wall opposite you, the back wall. Good. Feel free to stay here if this feels like the right choice to you. If you'd like to, take a hold of the right foot with the left hand and the right knee with the right hand. Put the left foot on the floor. You could stay there or stretch out long through that left leg. Flexing the left foot actively. Dropping down through that left shoulder. Keep breathing. This is pigeon pose, right? If this does not feel good for you in any way, shape, or form, come back into the threading the needle variation we did earlier. Good. Okay. And then we're going to bend that knee, bring the foot back. Whew. Okay, we're all going to meet back in this position. Okay, now we're all going to take our left hand onto our right foot and our right hand onto the right knee. And if it feels okay, put the left foot on the floor. If that does not feel comfortable for your body, don't do it. Go ahead and lower the foot to the floor like this, and then you can pick up the leg into half happy baby pose, which is where we're going to be going from here. If you are doing the movement, moving from your right hip, take the foot with the right hand, rotate with the thigh bone in the hip socket, and come into half happy baby pose. Right ankle is above the right knee. As always, you could hold on to the back of your right thigh. You could also feel free, if you're using a belt, to hold a belt or hold the back of the calf. Take whatever variation works for you. Breathing into the backs of your ribs. Noticing the space there. Good, and if you'd like to stretch that left leg out, make that an active activity. Make that really active. Stretch out through the inner left heel, flex that foot, and as you lengthen out through that leg, the thigh bone will ground. Good. Okay, nice work. Let's bring our left foot to the floor and bring that right leg to the floor and come back to lying on our backs. Okay, so we're noticing how that felt. Noticing all 10 of your toes on the floor. Noticing your breathing. And then let's cross the left ankle over the right knee. Option 1, stay here, flex that left foot. Option 2, lift the right foot off the floor. Put your left hand on that left knee, right hand on that ankle. Flexing both feet if possible, draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Option 3, holding on to the back of the right thigh. Take a couple of breaths here. Noticing how this feels. Okay, remember you can stay here if you'd like. If you'd like to, take your right hand onto the left foot and the left hand onto the left knee and stretch that right leg out long. We're coming into a pigeon pose on our back. I'm stretching out very strongly through my inner right heel. Excuse me. I'm trying not to overuse my arms and upper shoulders. I'm trying to rely more on my core and my legs here. Keeping the breath deep and steady. Now, in a couple of moments, we're going to move over into the half happy baby position. First, let's bring that knee in. Bring that foot back down. Bring the foot to the floor. And remember, if that whole movement of going from pigeon to happy baby isn't comfortable for your hip, just come to the floor and then come in straight into happy baby, right? And you can do any of the variations. If it is comfortable for you, we're going to start crossing that left ankle over the left knee, lifting the foot up, the right foot up. Okay, and if it's comfortable, you'll keep a hold of that left knee with the left hand and that left foot with the right hand. You'll put the right foot on the floor. Bring the left hand to the left foot or to a belt or to the back of the left thigh and come into the happy baby pose. And then if it's comfortable, you can stretch that right leg out long. No obligation to do that, just if it feels good. I'm gonna be super honest here. Had some technical difficulties and restarted the filming. So if you noticed a little jump, it wasn't you. Keep breathing. Nice work. Hey, Nellie. Nellie came running back in the room as soon as I started filming though, so I think she wanted to be with us. Oh, sweetie. Bringing that right foot down to the floor, bring your left leg down. Good job. Okay, let's stretch your arms and legs out really super long. Okay, good. Stretching out through your feet, through the inner heels. And stretching up through the fingertips. And then walking both of your ankles out to the left, both of your arms out to the left while keeping the backs of the shoulders and the backs of the pelvis on the floor. So I'm not rolling over onto my hip. I'm making my body in the shape of a rainbow or a crescent moon. Good. And then I'm going to come back to center. And I'm going to walk both my feet to the right and both my arms to the right. And I'm just going to take a couple of deep, full breaths here, feeling that deep, deep side stretch. Pressing out through my heels, flexing my feet. And then come back to center. And bringing the knees into the chest. Take a couple of breaths. And rolling to one side. Let's come on up. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna do a side stretch next. Stretching your right leg out to the side. Bend your left leg to the inner right thigh. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. And we're going to begin to walk that right arm out towards the inside of that right leg. You'll notice my toes I'm working very hard to keep my toes and my kneecap pointing up towards the ceiling. I don't want to be rolling my leg out. I'm trying really hard to stay long through both sides of my torso. I could be keeping my left hand here down on my left inner thigh. I could stretch my left arm overhead. You'll notice as I did that, I brought my left arm forward and I'm kind of rolling my arm slightly, bringing the tricep inward so that I can see the head of the humerus, the arm bone, a little more deeply back in that shoulder socket. Good, and then I'm drawing that shoulder blade away from my ear. I'm grounding through my left sitting bone. I'm keeping my neck soft. If this hurt my neck, I'd bring my hand down, I'd relax my neck, I'd bring my hand to my head, supporting the weight. Another option is to bring that left arm behind the back. Good. All right, let's come on up. And if possible, let your head come up last, bringing your hand to your side of your face and helping support the weight. And we'll come on to the second side. Stretching your left leg out to the side. Have the left foot flex, extend out through that left inner heel, toes and knee up towards the ceiling. Left hand on the inside of that left leg. And then I'm only coming as far out to the side as I can while staying somewhat grounded through that right hip while lengthening through both sides of my rib cage. Bye, Nellie. Yes, we lost her. We can decide to do whatever we want with that right arm. So you could keep it down. You could lengthen it overhead. Remember, if you do so, wrapping that arm around, feeling the shoulder blade wrapping around the side chest. That's a safer way to bring our arm overhead. You could also bring the arm behind the back or take the weight of the head with either arm. Take care of yourself. Good. Just a couple more breaths. Out through that inner left heel actively. And slowly come on up, and if possible, bring that head up last using the hand on the side of the head. And come on up to sitting. And again, you can sit in any position. I'm going to come into a kneeling position. And then I'm going to recommend that people with knee problems either sit in Baddha Konasana or sit in a straddle position, whichever is more comfortable for them. And then we're going to be doing a little twist here. And you can do the twist in Baddha Konasana or in a straddle, just twisting from side to side, right? So choosing your sitting position if you are knee sensitive and don't think you want to do a squat. For those of us who would like to try squatting, I'm going to come into a wide-legged squat. So I'm bringing my legs out to either side, and you'll see my knees and my toes are pointing at the same angle as each other. So it's not, I'm not trying to force a turnout that is not comfortable or appropriate for my body. I'm dropping my shoulder blades down away from my ears, and I'm lifting up through my breastbone while trying not to pop my low ribs forward. Now, a lot of people would have their heels up off the floor here. That is totally fine. It is also fine to roll up blankets and put them beneath your heels. If this does not feel good for your knees, immediately come into Baddha Konasana. Feet together, knees out to the side. Now, we're going to take a twist. So, we're going to bring the left hand down to the floor in front of us and the right arm up towards the ceiling. Good. If If this hurts your shoulder or neck, just have that right hand on the hip. Okay, this is a great place to stop. Don't feel like you have to go any further. For those of you who'd like to try, you can stretch that left arm way forward, turning the thumb towards the floor, and begin to bend that left elbow, bringing that left arm back, and possibly move that right hand back to wrap. Give you a side view of that. Only do this if it feels appropriate. Wherever you are, taking a twist, breathing, and come back to center. Check in with yourself. If your knees are bothering you, come down. Do the twist in Baddha Konasana. Right? Take care of your body, please, please. Okay, we're going to twist to the second side. So this time, I'm reaching way, way forward with my right hand, and I'm stretching up with my left arm. Good. And this might be where I want to be. I might want to have my arm down if my neck was bothering me. If I liked, I could stretch further forward with my right arm and wrap my right arm around that leg. Then I'm also going to reach back with that left arm. Now, some people use a belt here, hold their clothing between their hands. That is a totally great alternative to do. But again, remember, you don't have to be anywhere. Taking a few deep breaths. How does this feel? Ah, good. And then unwind yourself back to center. Nice job. And let's all stretch out and just check in with your knees. How's that feel? Okay. I'm coming into one more seated position. Gonna take a couple more just arm stretches in sitting, and then do a little bit of sitting and breathing before saying namaste. So coming into any comfortable seated position, my choice this time is going to be kneeling. And remember, if kneeling is not comfortable for you in any way, shape, or form, don't do it. You could be sitting in a chair here to do some of these shoulder stretches. Or sitting on a block, if that feels more comfortable. Actually, that feels really good for me, so I'm going to kind of hang out with the block for a little bit. Anyway, wherever you are, open your arms out to that good, strong cactus and feel those elbows stretching away from each other. Good, and again, don't let the elbows come back behind the line of the shoulders. Good. And we're going to breathe deeply and sliding your shoulder blades. Work with the breath. And I like to inhale as I come up, exhale as I come down. You might like a different breath pattern. But just try and move slowly. Orchestrate with the breath. I like this because it's interesting. It's hard for me to bring my hands together if I'm not looking, which makes me curious about my connections with my body. It's interesting to watch. Good. And come on down and release. Okay, nice work. We're going to do one more thing here. Stretching the arms out to either side. Cross your right arm over your left and walk your hands towards each other. Good. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Notice how that feels. This might be where you want to stop today, so feel free to just stay here and give yourself a hug. Good. If you'd like to, you could begin to lift up the forearms, stretching the elbows away from you. A lot of people come to this position. Some people bring the backs of the hands together, and some people cross their wrists. None of that is a sign of like moral advancement or anything, so don't worry about it if you're feeling here. That's just the way your body is right now. your arms are out in front of you and you would like to experiment with some movement, one thing I like to do sometimes is just lift my elbows up and down a little bit with my breath. For me, that feels good, so I'm doing it. If you don't like doing it, please don't, right? You can hold a static stretch. Come back to center. Uncross your arms. Okay, let's come to the second side. Stretching your arms out wide. Give yourself a big hug with the left arm on top. Take a couple of breaths here. Notice how that feels. You can stay right here. No obligation to do any more. If you'd like to, lift up your forearms. Your forearms could stay here. You could cross your wrists if you would like. And again, you could stay here holding a static pose, or if it feels good to move those elbows up and down, move those elbows up and down. Good. Just a couple more breaths, seeing how that feels on your body. Okay, come on down. Release the arms. Release your seated position and come into a position that you would be comfortable holding for a little bit. And so I'm going to model here. What would feel good for me would be to do a Baddha Konasana with pillows beneath my thighs and my calves. That would not feel good for everybody. For some people, cross-legged. For some people, lying down might be more comfortable than sitting. So find a position, please. And centering yourself in space. Trying to bring the back of your skull in line with the backs of the scapula, in line with the backs of the pelvis. Noticing the curve forward in your neck. Good. Softening the jaw, broadening the collarbones. Eyes can be opened or closed. The word asana, we use it a lot, meaning like posture in physical yoga classes. But in the Yoga Sutras, what it refers to is your seat. Yogis wanted to sit and meditate and not be distracted by aches, pains, fidgets. So keeping a healthy body was a way to create a healthy seat to contain the energies of meditation, right? So right here, just notice your seat. I often tell my students in class, it doesn't matter what kind of crazy poses you can or cannot do, because what the Yoga Sutras tell us to aim for is actually just the ability to sit and breathe. So I'm going to have us sit here for 2 minutes. I've got a timer going. And if you need to take a break, you can do so, right? I know meditation can be intense for a lot of people. And then at the end of the 2 minutes of silence, I'm going to say namaste and encourage you to lie down, make any movements you need to with your body, and come into a shavasana. So, coming into your comfortable seated position, closing your eyes. If that's comfortable, if that's not, keep your eyes open. Deepening your breath and sitting. Joining their hands together at the heart. Slowly bringing your attention back to the room, your body. Bringing your hands down to the floor, stretch your legs out. Notice how you feel. After this, I'm going to encourage you to come to the floor and do a Shavasana.